Okay, the next presentation is a virtual one. And we have Peter Huo, and he's going to introduce an intro to Binance Labs. Peter is an executive director and leads token investment efforts at Binance Labs. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, Peter. I hear you very clear. This is Charles.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if you can see me, so I just come up. It was really nice talking with you last week, and hope everything goes well. So like as everybody might know, or some people don't know, first one is part of Binance Lab incubated session 4 projects. We are so honored to be added to the incubator plan, and we learn a lot there. So by this opportunity, we want to let Peter to introduce Binance Labs to everybody. As everybody may know, Binance is the biggest exchanges in the worldwide, and they have different geolocation supporting multiple countries. They also have their own Visa card, MasterCard to support the direct payment. And also you can withdraw funds to fiat money. And but here they also have a very strong incubation project and labs to support different blockchain community projects. So let's welcome Peter to introduce us what Binance Lab does.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Charles. Well, first I want to say, thanks for having me here, and congrats on the good conference in Toronto. I'm from Montreal, so I'm vouching for the Canadian crypto scene. And then, if I haven't COVID, I really wish I was here. So now to the intro to Binance question. So I think most people are familiar with Binance as the centralized exchange, which is a 5,000 people company, and they exchange with a global market share of over 50% in both spot and perpetual trading. And then myself, I'm from the team of Binance Labs, which is the investment and incubation arm of the company. So we're a team of 20 people covering both strategic M&A, so for things like Twitter and Forbes, and also token investments, which is what I personally focus on. So since 2018, we've invested in over 200 portfolios. So our philosophy is to be agnostic to chains, sectors, and project life stage, but we put a big emphasis on the innovation aspect of the projects we look at. So as examples, we're one of the earliest investors in Polygon, Axie Infinity, 1inch, Sandbox, just to name a few. And then shameless plug here. So we run 2 incubation programs at Binance Labs. So the number one is called Binance Labs Incubation, which started in 2018, and the season 4, which FIL is participant of, just kicked off last month. And the second program we run is called Most Valuable, or MVB incubation program. So the difference between these 2 programs are, so number one, the Binance Labs incubation is purely check agnostic, whereas the MVB projects incubation, they need to have some intention or angle to build on the BNB chain. And the second difference is that a participant in the Binance Labs incubation automatically means an investment. So Binance Labs did invest in FIL, whereas for MVB, some projects get investments, whereas some they don't get a guaranteed one. So on that note, we're quite excited that FIL joined our last labs incubation cohort. Really appreciate what your team is building. So Charles, actually, we would love for you to share a bit, of your experience or maybe some feedback with everyone here.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Yes, first one, have a wonderful journey with the Binance Lab incubator plan. So like we were luckily selected about 3 months ago. So we get a lot of training, and we get some mentorship from very famous mentors. So they are industry leaders from DeFi, from infrastructure, from lots of smart contracts, and also DX. So those people idea, like encouraging us. We see like some founders, successful founders, they start from small, but they get their product solid, and they share a pressure experience, how to growing from small, how to building their products, and how to focus on their users. And also there was a lot of good experience sharing with even CZ come to the event to share with our cohorts about when we encounter difficult situations, like how to survive in the bear market, how you expand in the bull market, and how you select your first employee, how to first select your first partner, and also how to management investor relationships. Also, like they also give us lots of support and also some experience about public relation management. So we learned a lot, and the most importantly, we also have lots of startup projects in the same session. So in the beginning, like we exchange our ideas from different geolocations. The projects come from Asia, from Europe, from North America. Like people is really like familyhood, and we're building, we chat together, we share the experience, and also like we're facing the difficult together. At the end of the incubation, there was 1 week in France. At this time, it's in France, Paris. There's a Viva Tech. We show our product in front of thousands of visitors. There was big players in the event like Microsoft, Google, and ARV. So, and there was lots of companies from different European countries like Italy and Switzerland. Most interesting is that lots of investors are talking with us during the event, show strong interest. Even this morning, I still get a feedback from them, ask to building relationships and cooperations. It's really a good opportunity, not just from product view, also from how you doing the demo shows. We know like some incubated projects, this is their first time set up a boost in a big event in front of thousands of people. Like people is like really nervous in the beginning, but at the end, I know that they learn a lot. And I'm guaranteed that in the future, they won't afraid to present their products, their experience, their team in front of big investors. So it's a really good opportunity and future success guaranteed. Yeah, thanks, Peter. And yeah, so I heard that there was session 5 is ongoing, application opening. So can you share with us what is expectations, criteria, and the deadline for the session 5?
Yeah. So first thing first. So the application for season 5 has already opened, and then the application ends on the 31st of July, right? So everyone, please, if you're interested, you have 1 month to apply. And then you can find the application link, you know, at the pinned post of Binance Labs Twitter. The handle is just at Binance Labs. You can find the application from there. And then, you know, so a bit more details on the program itself. So in the past, you know, we actually had a quite amazing cohorts of projects that came out of this incubation program. So that includes, let me think. So Polygon, Perpetual Protocol, SafePaw, Dune Analytics, NIM, right? Just on top of my head, and then the program itself, you know, there's 2 components to it. So there's the first component is, you know, after the program kickstarts, there's the 8 weeks period during which the incubation projects will, you know, will have respective mentoring sessions with, you know, that includes top Binance executives like CZ, He, and a few others. Also with the mentorship sessions with the founders of different Binance Labs portfolio. So that includes, you know, so in the past we have had Sandeep, Sebastian from Sandbox, and also the ones from 1inch and different portfolios to share their, you know, their own learnings and experiences, you know, as a project founder. In addition, we also have these mentorship sessions coming from industry influencers and also and then crypto investors who might potentially, you know, be your follow-on investors. So that's for the period of 8 weeks. So after that, the whole support that Binance provide will be on an ongoing basis. You know, so whatever the projects need within the Binance ecosystem, they will have a open access to these value add services, right? So for example, that include investor in partnership referrals, advice on tokenomics, on the listing plan, PR and marketing, legal, finance, just like what Charles just described. So this will be forever ongoing, as a alumni of the incubation program. And then now in terms of what we look for in projects, I'd say we can focus on key 4 things. So number 1 is innovation in terms of is the product you're building does it provide an innovative way to solve the current issues of the blockchain industry? That's number 1. Number 2 is about the team's background. Given your vision for the innovation, do we have the team that have the necessary skills and vigor to build it? And number 3 is about the business model itself. And then number 4 is more about the designs regarding the tokens, if there is a token. So again, we welcome every innovative projects to apply. We're sector agnostic, chain agnostic, and again, you can find the link to the application form at the pinned post of Binance Labs Twitter, at Binance Labs.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. And for the ecosystem builders, blockchain passionators who is inside this room in Toronto, like I encourage you guys to apply for the Binance Labs. It's a really good project. It's also a good opportunities. So remember, like you are in Canada, so actually you have a better chance to be selected as Canada projects. So a secret, if you want to go there, I can do some referrals. I hope Peter won't mind if I do referral. Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. So like we have a last but not least question. Since like this is a FIL Toronto summit, so we would like to listen from you. What's your perspective about the future of decentralized storage?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so everyone in the audience, you know that storage is one of the core infrastructure component that Web3 needs, right? And then we're still at the very infancy stage, right? And then the status quo, the frank reality is just that storage amongst other middleware sectors are becoming one of the bottlenecks for Web3 use case to really expand, right? So for example, if we look at the storage demand by use case, right? So like layer ones, they don't, it is a good use case currently, but then the size of the data that layer ones needs to store isn't that big, right? Second demand can come from DeFi, right? But they don't, typically they don't really need that. It's already stored by the within the node data. And then, but then I think it's really the upside comes from the content sectors, right? So for example, like games, NFT, social fi, right? Those use cases, they generate a lot of storage demand, but currently we just don't have the infra to support them, right? So for example, like many of the NFT projects and the blockchain games, they still run and stored on centralized servers, because the cost is cheaper and then just more efficient. These applications, they actually wish they can use Web3 storage and deliver a more a fuller blockchain experience, which means being more decentralized, having composability with different protocols, and then users have true sovereign ownership, right? But then these good things cannot be had currently because it's either not doable or would severely undermine the user experience if these projects choose Web3 storage, right? So I think a couple of key success factors I think for a Web3 storage product would include having fast upload and retrieval speed, being friendly to block files, being immutable, right, and while remaining cheap and having a decentralized nature, right? So currently on the market there are pretty large gap, or like big trade-offs between all these features we just mentioned. It's a bit like the blockchain scaling trilemma, right? But I think just like the scaling issues, these things are being continuously improved by new innovative solutions. And then I think for storage, we can also be finding a good balance continuously between these factors with innovative solutions. And then there's so many storage solutions being worked out, and Filecoin is been the clear leader at this point. And I'm pretty impressed by the booming ecosystem that Filecoin and the FileSwan is building. And then, from an investor perspective at Binance Labs, we're quite bullish on the Web3 storage sector. And then we're pretty excited to pursue partnerships with ecosystem in the space, and also help drive the innovation in the sector.
Thanks, Peter. And thanks for you. Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks for your great insight about the Web3 storage future. And it's like what I should say, like it's really great to have the top incubation project support the Filecoin ecosystem. It's a great honor. And so yeah, thanks for today. And we are going to next session. It will be, we can talk about how can we easily doing storage over Filecoin network. And thanks, Peter. And we will put the application link on FileSwan Twitter, so everybody can check it and see how it works.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Okay. Bye.